Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Little Potato. Welcome back to Aspera. All right, I got a couple of things to say before we kick off this video. First and foremost, thank you very much to everyone who left a comment underneath the last one. There's a lot that I want to discuss about the sort of general balance of the game and the way that it sort of handles itself. You'll probably see that I've actually just gone many years into the future. Yeah, it's not exactly a great sight to behold. The entirety of the old base is kind of in ruin. It doesn't really matter for a reason that you'll sort of see in a second, but yeah, anyway, you know, I had the nucleus of this base down, you know, when we before we parted ways last time. I basically expanded it. I added a brand new landing station over here. I expanded the hyperloop out. There's a water field over here, so I'm basically just mining that at the moment. Thank you, video game. That's not the one that I wanted. Yeah, so there's a water field over here that you can see, and so I'm just extrapolating all of the information that we can get with regards to the water field, and then hopefully we're going to be able to mine all of the water. The reason that this area failed, the reason that it's continued to fail, is just the link up of the maintenance networks. Although it's more than that, I think that there is actually a couple of bugs with regards to the way that prioritization works. I don't really know. The other thing to say is that I tried to start a brand new base over here, but you see, the thing is about starting a brand new base, as we've talked a little bit about before, you get the lander, you have to get the iron mine down, you have to get the aluminium mine down, you have to get the steel factory down, the carbon mine down, etc, etc, etc. None of that is really a problem. But if your robots immediately just stop working and don't deliver to, for example, an aluminium mine, we had that bug a wee while ago, actually. I think it was like up here or something, where the one robot had one job to do and it just didn't do it. If it decides to not do it, then, you know, you're in trouble, because you have a limited time frame, a very limited time frame to get all of this infrastructure down. So what do you need? Crucially, maintenance facility as soon as possible, because our oxygen level is so darn high. We'll talk about this in a minute. Big breakthrough on the oxygen front. So hold on a second for that. Let me just get this out of my system first. So you need to get the maintenance facility down so that you can repair all of your damaged structures. Again, that maintenance facility cannot be linked with any other maintenance facility, otherwise the maintenance drones will just drift further afield. Terrible if that happens. Then you need to get down your electronics facility, you need to get down your polymer facility, you need to get down your parts factory, all of that stuff. You need to make sure that you get a worker factory up and running before the robot decays. And again, if there is any holdup at any point, if the robot decides to, you know, go on a holiday and decide to not work for a little while, then there will be a problem. And that's exactly what happened here. It was literally just a case of time. We just didn't have enough time to assemble all of the parts in order to make the worker factory. And if you can't get a worker before the old one dies, if you can't make a new worker before the old one dies, well, then you're just straight out of luck. And that's exactly what happened here, and I think it's similar to what happened here. Anyway, none of that really matters. Just to say that I would really appreciate if the game added like a bunch of additional granularity. First of all, this information about your supply totals, completely useless, because especially the way that the game wants you to play, right, is it wants you to have isolated bases like this, right? So it wants you to have a base which, I don't know, has got one water extractor, couple of chemical extractors, couple of aluminium extractors, etc. And the whole point of having a little base like this is that you're able to plonk down one of these research outposts right over here, bada bim, bada boom, and then all you need in order to supply a research outpost, if I head over here, click on this one, it's one food and one water, right? So that's what the video game really wants you to do, is it wants you to have a small landing setup with a single outpost perhaps attached, and you're just supposed to have loads and loads and loads of these landing sites that are just sort of spread across the base. I don't even think it necessarily wants you to connect them, and if it does want you to connect them, then it only wants you to connect hyperloops, because again, if you connect maintenance networks, if you connect power networks, well, that can turn into a disaster really fast. So that's worth keeping in mind. But anyway, yeah, so what I did over here was I just sort of started the base, expanded a little bit. It's not particularly difficult to keep the base up and running as long as the robots do not bug out, or if they don't freak out, then it's not a big deal. Anyway, hand in hand with that sort of like landing site setup where you have, you know, small bases. Again, assuming that the bugs don't occur and the robots actually deliver accordingly and whatnot. Assuming that doesn't happen and you're able to get to a reasonably decent size, I'm pretty certain that the video game literally wants you to have one colony. And even I feel like one colony is pretty difficult to maintain. A colony level 3 requires 10 food and 10 water to maintain. It is a challenge. It is a challenge to keep one colony. I actually have a second colony over here, but I'm not running this at the moment because it's too much to maintain. With all of this infrastructure, I mean, how many is that? 1, 2, 3... look, 6 water extractors over there. I think there's another water extractor over here somewhere. Whatever. There's another water extractor up there. And then, how many food factories have I got? How many level 2 food factories have I got? An obscene number. An obscene number. And still it is a challenge to have 100% uptime on this colony. Now, I'm managing. Things are going well over here, but that's basically what the game wants you to do. It wants you to have one central colony that you throw a whole bunch of resources into, and then you have a whole bunch of these little... You have a whole bunch of these little sort of like outpost landing sites that are connected and have one research outpost. Because the way that the research outposts work is that they provide a bonus. They provide a bonus to research, right? So our base research points... 206 at the moment, right? 206, that is coming from this, but it's also coming from the research labs themselves. Research labs provide a couple of research points. It's not many, but it's more efficient to research in the colonies. You get more bang for your buck, basically, I believe. Anyway, the research labs give a bonus, which makes it much more worthwhile. Anyway, I'm researching the tent city at the moment. I'll keep you up to date on what I'm doing. Haven't done any more engineering research. I've made a whole bunch of progress on import nitrogen from Titan. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And also the magnetic dipole shield. We need to get the nitrogen down. We need to get the dipole shield down. Both of that is needed. Also, probably gonna need to get a building limit increased, which is a completely arbitrary and ridiculous cap, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm working on the tent city, skipping the dome city, hopefully, so that we can do our research a little bit faster. I don't know if perhaps it'll offer us more favorable terms in terms of food consumption and or water. I'm kind of hoping that that's the case. Anyway, the big news, if you're still around, the big news. I have determined, I've got a spaceport over here, by the way. I have determined, weirdly, that the ability to aero break multiple nitrogen asteroids, it's either a bug that we cannot aero break multiple nitrogen asteroids, or it's a bug that we're able to exploit. So if you have a little look at my nitrogen, the last time that I left you, we were on 87% atmospheric oxygen, which is pretty high, very, very high indeed. But I have determined, let's go into here. There we go. Boom. All right, so we're able to queue it up. Aerobreak, nitrogen, asteroid, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This is the spaceport, by the way, that I was chatting about over... Where is it? Over here. Yeah, also, by the way, the game runs much more smoothly when you don't have about 25,000 maintenance drones that are operating. Anyway, so we're gonna set up spaceport, aerobreak, nitrogen asteroid. It's literally that simple. Bit of aluminium, a couple of space parts, couple of electronics, couple of chemicals. Super duper easy. We've got all of those parts in very, very numerous quantities over here. In fact, we're doing pretty great for everything. But that's that. Also, this worker hub is a little bit overstretched at the moment. We should probably try and get another worker hub down. But of course, I'm at my building limit in classic potato fashion. Let's ditch... We need to ditch something. What do I want to ditch? You know what? We ditch that solar farm. Ditch that solar farm, and we'll fix it up. Anyway, spaceport. It's building the rocket. La-di-da-di-da. Super easy. Build the rocket, and we'll see what the heck happens in just a second. Actually, no, I need to rebuild that solar plant. That's a bad idea, Potato. That is a bad idea. That's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea. Let's delete this battery instead. We don't need batteries. Batteries are lame. Batteries are very, very lame. And we need the building space. Again, I have no idea why we have a structural cap. It is frankly ridiculous. It's frankly ridiculous that that is allowed to be in the game. A game all about building and sprawling over Mars. Who the heck knows? Anyway, doesn't matter. How's our worker factory doing? Our worker factory is doing not too bad. Not too bad at all. Needs worker hub? Okay, let's take this opportunity to upgrade the worker factory, shall we? There we go. And then let's get this worker hub down over here. The reason that I want to build that worker hub, by the way, is that the worker hub load over here is at 100%, and it's causing quite a lot of slowdowns because the Hyperloop station is frequently in receipt of a whole bunch of goods, and if we're not able to move them out super quickly, then you know, we're just wasting time. Either way, even with all of that, look at how difficult it is to maintain 100% uptime on this colony. And this is, I would say, a fairly significant, well-resourced base with a obscene number of food factories. You know, so it's difficult, hence why I'm trying to get the tent city. Anyway, aerobrake asteroid into the atmosphere. That's gonna happen. Yep, and look, just like that. Just like that. Okay, so it looks like there are diminishing returns here, but, I mean, it's totally possible. It's totally possible to do. So, now if we head over to aerobrake nitrogen asteroid, it will see, we will see here, all spaceports occupied. All spaceports occupied. What the heck does that mean? Well, I have absolutely no idea. You can see the asteroid's about to crash into the atmosphere, even though it's technically already registered an impact. So there's something that I want to try. There's something that I want to try, which may reset that. I'm gonna see if we can try disassembling the spaceport that actually launched the asteroid. We're gonna disassemble it fully, and then we're gonna see if we can rebuild it. Spaceport number 15. Yep. Nitrogen asteroid. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Tent city's coming along nicely. 29 months away. Yeah, we're not too bad of a place there. It does look like we get diminishing returns though. So the first asteroid that I aerobraked into the atmosphere got rid of 13% of the oxygen. Next one got rid of 10. That one got rid of like 8 or something. 69% oxygen. Of course, you couldn't make it up. So, you know, it may be a case of diminishing returns, but even if it is, I think that that's still worth it because lowering the flammability risk is pretty darn huge. Okay, we'll build the spaceport up. Let's see what the heck happens. We're fine for pretty much everything at the moment, I think. But yeah, I would really dearly love a way to control where the robots go, how they prioritize things. You just don't have the granularity. You don't have the level of control that would really turn this game from a good game into a great game, in my humble opinion. So there you go. Anyway, Tent City's coming along nicely. In fact, way better than I originally anticipated. Prioritize building of the spaceport, not like it particularly matters, because prioritization is a pretty meaningless concept. This worker hub is still overstretched. I mean, to be honest, that's kind of to be expected. The worker hub that is in the Hyperloop station oftentimes tends to be very stretched because it has to do all of the movement to and from the Hyperloop. Well, not to the Hyperloop, but from the Hyperloop. Yeah. So the colony, it's doing good. It's doing good. We got good numbers of research points. We got good amounts of research coming from the worker outposts over here. So that's real nice. That's real nice too. I think there's two. Yeah, there's 2 research outposts over here. So that's pretty good. Spaceport is being rebuilt. Now. You see that this interface over here, this interface means that we are not going to be able to aerobrake another asteroid. It still says spaceports occupied. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with a save. We're gonna go with a save. Now, I don't know if this is me breaking the game or the game breaking the game. I suspect that it might be the game breaking the game. I don't understand why we wouldn't be able to aerobrake multiple asteroids into the surface. I just don't understand that. It seems by giving us diminishing returns, or by giving me diminishing returns, we have the opportunity to aerobrake multiple asteroids into the atmosphere, thus by lowering nitrogen, perhaps at a more inefficient rate than if we had a dedicated technology that was supposed to do the nitrogen stuff. You know, like the importing nitrogen from Titan or whatever. But presumably we're not going to be able to import nitrogen from Titan unless we reload the game. Anyway, the long and the short of this explanation is that by reloading the game, you are able to, for some obscene reason, get rid of that all spaceports limit reached limitation on the aerobraking the nitrogen asteroid into the atmosphere, thereby meaning, of course, that you are able to do it multiple times. The game just takes literally ages to do this whole reloading shebang. I don't understand why. Maybe because it's a particularly complex situation to load up, but there we go. We can wake up, and boom, we're back. Right. Zoom out. Aerobrake nitrogen asteroid, and we can just select exactly where we wanna do it. It's just that simple, right? So that is a bug. Either I shouldn't be able to do that, or there shouldn't be that all spaceport limit reached nonsense hanging around. So we're gonna get our nitrogen levels down, I hope, fairly considerably over the course of this episode. It may take a couple reloads, irritatingly. Don't want it to do that, but you know, if it does, then it does. That's the reality of the situation. Why are we not moving more resources around here? We should be, yeah, we should be. We should be moving resources. It's probably just a matter of... just a matter of time. And we don't seem to have much water. Anyway, I'm hoping that we get the upgraded colony. I'm gonna see if we can try and plonk down a colony level 4. That's kind of the dream, to be honest with you. It's kind of the dream. Look at that, and we're already like 90% of the way through building an asteroid. It's like, what the heck do you want me to think, video game? Do you want me to think that it's allowed, or do you want me to think that it's not allowed? I frankly do not understand. Also, I'm not entirely sure that this allocation actually works. Like, I really am not convinced that this allocation thing actually makes a difference. I just don't know. It doesn't feel like it does work, and yet it's in the game, so maybe it does work, maybe it doesn't work. Anyway, we should maybe see if we can try and expand out here, get a couple of additional water extractors. If we do need additional water to feed the colony, then that's just something that we have to do. We're probably getting to the point where, yep, we got a couple of mines that are coming up for retirement over here, so let's get rid of them. That is cool. All right. The other thing that is kind of just a little bit strange is that the game always has you in a level of conflict. It always has you in a level of conflict, right? Where you're torn between either placing down a brand new base or you just sprawl across the map. I elected to sprawl across the map. The game definitely does not want you to do that. The game absolutely categorically does not want you to sprawl across the map. It would rather you have, as I've already said, an isolated, like, little independent base as opposed to a sprawling thingamabobber. There we go. Look at that. Atmospheric O2 is now down under 69%. In fact, it is at 62%, which is pretty remarkable. Again, video game, I don't suspect that there is much chance that you allow me to aerobrake another nitrogen asteroid. Yep, no, all spaceports are occupied yet again. That is super irritating. Super unbelievably irritating. I don't get it. I really do not get it. I really do not get it. We might hit it with a reload after we do this this bit of research. I really want to do the research. I really want to do the research. That is what I am 100% getting behind. Look at the amount of resources we have. We do not have a shortage of any resource. We are completely fine for literally absolutely every resource. Prioritize the construction of a worker hub. Prioritize the construction of another water extractor, just in case we need another water extractor. I really don't think that we do. Add resource water. I mean, I don't necessarily want a minimum. I don't really feel like a minimum is actually necessary, but I still don't actually understand how minimums work in storage centers, but hey-ho, I guess. Either way, we're super close. Super close to hitting that bit of research. It just irritates me that the game doesn't want to import nitrogen, and if it does, then we're in trouble. With regards to our building cap limit, let me click on the structures button, which immediately causes a massive amount of lag. Yes, I've not really found a workaround for that yet. Literally, the game lags for about 20 seconds. Presumably because I have so many structures. Yep. Thank you, video game. No, alright. Excellent. So yeah. Anyway, that's the feedback. That's the feedback that I have to make on the game. What do we got terraforming wise? Greenhouse gas factory. Can I scrap here? Can I scrap from here? Yeah, there's no way that I can just abandon, right? There's no way that I can just abandon these factories. I would dearly love to sort of go back in here and get started, but I can't scrap. I can't scrap unless they really are like damaged beyond belief, right? Oh, it's so laggy. It's so laggy. It's so laggy. In a game about building, you know, expansive, sprawling bases, you'd think that perhaps there was a little bit of better accommodation for a large number of structures. I mean, we haven't even got the highest building limit, for goodness sake. We can still deal with another 500 structures on top of this. Yeah, okay. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to scrap. I don't think that I'm going to be able to scrap any structures that are in the old area. Apparently... apart from this one. Let's go locate the silicon mine. Because this is rubble. And I can... No, I can't scrap rubble. I can't even scrap rubble. Okay, so you can't get rid of structures. You can't get rid of structures unless you do them... unless you manually get rid of the structures with robots. Which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why I can't just disavow a structure if indeed it's no longer helpful, as literally the entirety of this base is. The suggestions in the comments were helpful, you know, saying, hey, Potato, why don't you just get rid of them one by one, and then sort of just, you know, gradually get rid of them. Getting rid of 800 structures manually is not something that is fun to do, or something that I think we should do. Or something that the game should overlook. So I hope that that'll change at some point. Because it's ridiculous. But anyway, apart from that, everything seems fine at the moment, to be honest. The fact that we've got the tent city hopefully coming online in just a second, again, hopefully giving us a slightly better return on investment. That'd be really, really nice. The higher levels of O2 almost certainly hurting maintenance levels, so big problem there. However, I don't know if it's just if oxygen is above 30%, then, you know, you're guaranteed to have a couple of fires, or if it's an increasing likelihood, the higher and higher percentage that it gets. Or if perhaps, you know, the top rate of percent caps out at 31. You know, if perhaps we drift 1% over that 30% cap, it might start causing chaos. I don't know. The point is that I just don't know. Technically, we're maintaining a huge number of colonists at the moment, although let me categorically assure you that we are only maintaining one colony at this moment in time. Literally one colony, and that is this one here. 70 things of food. That's quite remarkable. That is quite remarkable. And that was after I tweaked the allocation to be 60% towards research point manufacturing and 40% to food manufacturing. Again, it makes you wonder, does the allocation nonsense actually work? I would be very inclined to say, you know, maybe it influences the opinion of robots, but it doesn't actually do it properly. Okay, a larger colony that houses 2,500 colonists and doesn't need pressurization. Okay, very cool. Well, we're gonna have to be momentarily diverted to engineering 5 to increase our cap. Can I get a... Oh, okay. This is 30 foods? 30 food, and it gives us 900 research points? Okay, that is a way better return on investment. Building limit reached. Okay, well, you know what? We can sacrifice. I'd say what? Let's sacrifice this old colony. There's nobody. Okay, there are actually people living there. Well, we're not actually sacrificing people. Either way, this is, I hope, this is going to be a really, really good way to get a huge amount of, research points. Hopefully, this is what the game intended, and I'm playing it in the exact way that the game wants. If I'm not playing it in the exact way that the game wants, well then we're gonna be in trouble. Irregular terrain. I do want to try and build it like literally here, because if we're able to build it literally here, then it's right next to the food factories, and that means that it's less work for the workers to actually transport the resources from the food factories right into the colony. Either way, a couple of those tent cities would go great. I'm gonna build one tent city at the moment because I suspect that I'll be struggling to maintain even a single tent city. Tent city sounds like a music festival. Okay, this is very exciting. Also, I should point out that there were a couple of like little snippets whenever I finished researching a brand new research outpost. I got a little bit of text on the screen. I didn't care much for them before. I didn't particularly care for them, the ones that showed up whilst I was letting the game just run in the background for a little while. I played for about an hour and a half, I would say, at 16 times speed off camera. That allowed me to maybe advance whatever it was, 10 years. And honestly, not really sure that it made altogether too much difference. The biggest difference by far, I discovered literally just before I jumped in to record this video. And that was the fact that the aerobraking of nitrogen asteroids was entirely possible, and you could definitely do it multiple times, and I was just an idiot, or the game was just bugged, or something. Insert any other alternative reality right here. Also, we have no water. We have no water over there. Where is our water? All of our water is on the Hyperloop at the moment. So this is part of the problem, right? This is part of the problem, is that we have got a couple of worker hubs which are super duper duper in high demand at the moment. Super duper duper in high demand. I almost feel like maybe I should plan it out better, so I just have a Hyperloop in the middle, like a Hyperloop right here, and then surrounded by, you know, a gargantuan number of worker hubs in order to ensure that we don't have any issues. How much glass have I got? I've still got 10 glass. There should be enough glass to build this tent city real quick. Yeah. Yeah, power occasionally goes down. That's just because I'm using wind turbines. Actually, tell you what, speaking of power, we did actually manage to discover a rare uranium deposit over here. It's the first uranium deposit that I've come across in all of my peripheral bases, actually. So that was really, really nice. Just came across it using the areological scanner, as you do. And anyway, I think that should mean, yeah, we've got 16 uranium, which means that we can actually plonk down an additional fission plant. There we go. We'll stick it down over there. Of course, the added benefit of a fission plant is that it costs uranium to build once. We don't need to maintain it. We don't need to deal with it. It just gets built, and then that's it. Yeah. So it's really quite excellent. Okay, engineering 5. Look at that. Look at that. See, even just between like last episode and this episode, the turnaround in research potential is quite huge. Also, again, we used to have 60 bits of food in this colony, and now we've got exactly none. How much food do we have stored in the storage center? None. We've got no food stored in the storage center. How much food have we got in the lander? None. We got nothing. We got nothing. So, I mean, over the course of, what is that? Literally 2 minutes, maybe? We were able to run out all of that food. That's insane. That's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, weird. Weird. Okay, tent city. Now we're talking. Very, very cool. Okay, prioritize the input over here. I think maybe actually we shut down... we shut down this colony over here, because this is now inefficient. This is last year's tech. And by last year, I mean last Sol. Last Sol's tech. Okay, so now the ratio is different, right? Now the ratio is vastly different. If we had a look at the colony, it was roughly 1 food to 1.6 science. Now it is 1 food to 3 science. In fact, 3 point something science and the rest. So that's actually very, very decent. Assuming that we can get a very, very large population up and running, which apparently is a completely allowed thing to do. The spaceports are jank most of the time, but apparently, as long as you have a couple of spaceports that are already built, that are set to do colonist migration, apparently they just continuously do it. Who'da thunk it? I've never run out of colonists. We've got new arrivals, pending departures. We got hundreds and hundreds of people that are consistently coming in, leaving. I don't know. Doesn't particularly matter. As long as we're able to maintain the colony, we should be just fine. We should be just fine, and we should be dandy. Right, fission plant. We're waiting for a little bit of uranium, but it's all up here. It's all up here. It's completely fine. It's completely fine. Okay, right. What I'm gonna do, folks, is I'm gonna skip forward in time to when I've reloaded the video, and then we're gonna do the spaceport thing again. I mean, it kind of sucks that we have to do it this way, but I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, we're back after the reload. Hopefully everything is the same. Look, there we go. You can just about see the same old power shortage that was there before we left. Anyway, Tent City. Tent City is looking good. Let's go and see if we can do that that old trick again. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. How is this allowed? How is this allowed? I don't even think this is an illegal maneuver. I think this is entirely legal. I think it is entirely legal. I legitimately think it's entirely legal. Yeah. I think it is. And yet here we are. And yet here we freaking are, where I'm still debating the legality. Let's get this shut down. And we'll get a brand new source of water up over here. I'm just building like water extractor level 1s. Because frankly, they're fine. If we have loads of water extractor level 1s, then we'll still be okay. No maintenance range. I can reassess that. I can move the maintenance thing if I need to. That's not necessarily a problem. Okay, 800 and something workers are heading to the colony, which is great. Getting a really, really good amount of research. It's just taking a little bit of time, which is fine. But that's going to give us 900 points. So as soon as we get the entirety of the colony up and running, we're going to be... I mean, we're going to be laughing. We are going to be absolutely laughing. We are going to be absolutely laughing. I think maybe we want to get another tent city. Can we afford another tent city? How much food do I have? Storage center reports that we've got 0 food. Maybe we can't actually afford... Yeah, maybe we can't actually afford another one. So look at the number of resources that I have here. That's obscene. How's our uranium plant? Our fission plant. Yep, fission plant's looking good. We've got a massive power surplus. Things are looking fine. All that we really need is more, all that we really need is more people, right? All that we really need is more people. I don't want to click on the structure button, because we all know where that will go. Into a horrible, laggy situation that I would really rather not replicate. I will place down one of those. Brilliant. Given that we do need more maintenance facilities. I'm also hoping that maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to reconquer the old base today. How we plan to do that, I don't know. It's going to require even more careful planning than it's taken to get to this point. It's going to take a lot of careful planning. Either way, we're about to get 900 freaking research points. How obscene is that? That is brilliant. That is really, really good. Engineering 5, which is 15,000 points. Scheduled to only take a couple of years. Wowzers. Only problem is, are we going to be able to supply it with enough water? Long term. And food. Both of those questions remain unknown. Also, power does continue to go down because we still have these garbage wind turbines. Wind turbines are pretty cheap in terms of the fact that they don't use glass, so therefore it is actually somewhat worthwhile to continue to get them. Look at that, by the way. Look at that. That's a burning chemical plant. That's a burning chemical plant. It sucks to see, but it's there. I'm gonna see if we can try and let a couple of additional colonists arrive, and then I'm probably just gonna go for another reload again. That's us down to 57%. That's us down to 57%. That was what, 5% down? Yeah, that was a 5% improvement. That was a 5% improvement of the oxygen levels, which is really, really good. 150 incoming population. That's not really as much as I would like. I'd like the entirety of the population to come here. I think I have a couple of colonies, like, around the place. And some of them have got, yeah, some of them have weirdly got, some of them have weirdly still got a population, even though they can't technically feed themselves? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's living in these colonies. I don't know why they can't maintain the networks themselves. Like, surely they've got spacesuits and stuff. Surely they've got spacesuits and stuff. You've got to imagine that that's... You've got to imagine that that's something that they have the capability to do. You have to imagine. You have to imagine. I refuse to believe another reality, you know? That just must be what's happening. Yeah, the good news is, though, is that we are getting an obscene amount. An obscene amount of research. An obscene amount of research. The number of bits of food that we need to supply, though, is just kind of bonkers. It's just kind of bonkers. What's the traffic report saying? Traffic report is high. Yeah, 90% worker load. 90% worker load. This is looking good, though. This is looking good. All of these workers are delivering resources to the Hyperloop. Seems to be happening. We need to get a little bit of power over here. I will probably consider that in just a second. I'm hoping that by lowering the oxygen level, we're actually contributing meaningfully to lowering the flammability risk. But I remain unconvinced that that is actually happening. Yeah. Also, we should upgrade the ways here. We should upgrade the ways. I feel like I should be doing that more, right? I feel like I should be doing that way more. Right, so I'm just going to upgrade the ways across the base here. There we go. So this is a whole bunch of carbon and a whole bunch of steel in order to get this all upgraded. But I think that this will absolutely be worth it. And it'll just mean that every single resource that is coming, hopefully, out of the Hyperloop station is going to be able to be delivered much more quickly. We'll do that, and we'll do that. It does consume an obscene amount of carbon, but we have an obscene amount of carbon. Or do we? I thought we did. We have an obscene amount of carbon. We have an obscene amount of steel. You know, we can afford that. It's going to put momentary pressure on presumably a lot of additional robots, but that's fine. Yeah, so there's 20 something bits of water at the Hyperloop. That's literally all of the demand for Tent City right there. Problematic. Problematic to say the least that our deliveries are not going as nicely and as quickly as they possibly could be. But that's okay. All right, loads and loads and loads of people are set to head over to Tent City. It's going down for some reason. Don't understand why. Doesn't particularly matter. 100% uptime, right? 100% uptime is what I would really, really like. If we're able to maintain 100% uptime, then, you know, we don't have problems. It's just that simple. We don't have problems. Let's get this upgraded. There we go. So I think that's all of the key tributaries right there. That's looking pretty good. I mean, we could upgrade a little bit of infrastructure over here. I don't really think that it's necessary. But you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Upgrade the ways. Cool. And then let's upgrade the ways from here to here. So, you know, strategic investment. Strategic investment in our infrastructure. And hopefully it'll make an important difference. Chemical supply as well. Chemical supply we're actually completely fine for. We don't need We don't need much additional chemical supply. I'll work on the ways just a little bit over here. There we go. So we'll work on the ways ever so slightly. Work on the ways, make sure that they're slightly better. Because if we're at our building cap, the only way that we can really improve the factory or improve the base is by upgrading individual factories or by upgrading the ways. So that's all pretty darn important, really. It's all pretty darn important. But I mean, so far so good. So far so good. It looks like it's working fairly well. The water infrastructure over here is a little bit dicey. But then again, it's not too bad. Yeah, I think you know, we can call this one a success, to be honest. I think that this is generally working. I really think that the problem is probably access to water. Also, I'm almost certain that my structural integrity isn't decreasing as quickly as it was when we had a higher oxygen level. I'm convinced that perhaps we've arrested the fall here. Alternatively, it might just be repaired from time to time. I don't know. We got a good number of maintenance drones. I think we've pretty much maxed out our number of maintenance drones here. It's a very, very small maintenance network, actually. Very, very small in comparison to what it was. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. Tent City, Tent City, Tent City, Tent City. Tent City's looking good. Why are so many people departing? So many people are freaking departing because we're just not able to get enough food and or enough water. Is it maybe for that reason worth getting level 3 factories so that we can produce food faster? Is that legitimately it? Is that what we need to try and do? Or do we need to get fewer food factories? Is it like a counterintuitive situation where we actually just need to get fewer food factories in order to make it all work? I don't think so. See, I don't think fewer food factories actually will make a difference. I don't think that's going to make a difference at all. There we go. Huge. Look at the leaps forward that we're making in research. It's really crazy. I really do think that all our problems are coming from lack of water. All of our problems are coming from a lack of water. I really do think that. Here's another idea. I'm going to see if we can try and stick a hyperloop, like, right out here. And so, basically, I'll do exactly what I said I was going to do. Right? So I'll put the hyperloop over here. We can sacrifice a building. What building do we want to sacrifice? We do need a wind farm up there. Sacrifice a worker hub, I guess. We could sacrifice a useless worker hub. Although, actually, tell a complete lie. We're going to be adding a huge amount of building capacity really, really soon anyway. So, what is the point? What the heck is the point? Here's my thought. Here's my thought process, right? The Hyperloop station at the moment is finding it difficult. Or not even the Hyperloop station itself. The worker hub over here and the worker hub over here, finding it difficult to supply all of the food factories with the addition of having to supply all of the water to Tent City. Maybe we add another Hyperloop station that allows us to deliver water straight into Tent City. Alternatively, maybe I'm just dramatically overcomplicating this, and all that we need to do is get a couple of additional worker hubs over here to help speed the process up. I still think that the crux of the problem remains that we just need more water. The amount of water that we need. Oh, just obscene. Just obscene. Okay, let's get that upgraded. That's about to retire. Let's get that upgraded as well. Let's get that upgraded as well. Sure. Nice. Okay, so there's going to be a temporary shortage of water. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. No issues. Don't need to freak out. Everyone is apparently departing. Excellent. Probably because there's no food or water or anything. Or there's not enough of the stuff. But engineering-wise, we're doing great. We've unlocked Engineering 5, or we will unlock Engineering 5, regardless of whether this Tent City decides to ever do any research again, which I would be Very grateful if it did decide to do some research again at some point soon. It's just water, isn't it? It's just water. That's what we need. We just need water. We just need freaking water. We just need freaking water. But every time Tent City completes a mission, it's a major win for us. Every time it happens, it's a major win for us. Okay, building limit plus 500%, plus 500 even, not 500%. Factory level 3s. What does a food factory do? What does a food factory do? I mean, it doesn't really change anything other than it builds stuff quicker. I feel like that should be tweaked, to be honest. Importing nitrogen from Titan, and then the shield. I feel like we should do the importing nitrogen from Titan. The reason being that above all else, it's not a feasible solution to expect that we will be able to rely on, you know, reloading the game a couple of times in order to save our backsides, so to speak. Yeah, that can go over there. Sure. Okay. So that's a fission plant. That's wonderful. That should make a difference. Let's prioritize this worker hub. Again, the way that prioritization works, it's kind of a bit funky. You know, there's only one level of prioritization. But again, I don't think it works like prioritization should really work. But there we go. Okay. That should put a lot less strain, hopefully, on the system. Is that being prioritized yet? That worker hub has been prioritized, and yet here we are not building it. Here we are not building it. Man, yeah, the levels of demand in this area are pretty darned obscene. Very, very high. Hence why if I get this hyperloop up and running, build this hyperloop, and then build a couple of worker hubs over here. In fact, just one worker hub. We'll just start with one worker hub. But if we get that set up, then that maybe means that we can deliver water directly to Tent City itself, which might make a little bit of a difference. Also, landing site. We can introduce a landing site. We can do that. I don't think I'm going to do that yet until we have a guaranteed under 30% oxygen level. If we're able to guarantee less than 30% oxygen, then you know, I think that's going to be great. But yeah, we're still getting situations where we're having fires and whatnot. There was a quick fire. It was put out very, very quickly, but we do definitely still have fires. Okay, worker hubs up and running. Cool. Hyperloop, super easy. I mean, we've got the resources. We've got every single resource, with the exception of food, with the exception of water, even though we're right next to an ocean. We have all of those. We have all of those resources. Okay, don't build a wind farm, Potato. Build a solar farm instead. Cool. How big is this? 600. 600. Alright, you know what? We'll throw down a water extractor level 2 over there. And we'll throw down a water extractor level 2 over there as well. Maintenance facility to connect everything in the middle here. Excellent. And a solar farm as well, just for good measure. Excellent. Okay, that has served its usefulness. We will delete it. Will it get rid of my lovely ways? I hope it won't. I hope it won't. I hope it won't. I do worry that it might, though. Alright, Hyperloop Station is up and running. Let's get that connected. In fact, you know what? There's no reason to do that. We'll just connect it. What's that going to cost? 24 or 8? You know what? I'll take a cheap. I'll take a cheap Hyperloop. I'll take a cheap Hyperloop. Let's see if this does actually make a difference in terms of where the water pokes out. So I'm hoping, very, very much hoping, that the game is going to decide to allocate resources to Tent City via this Hyperloop. instead of this Hyperloop station. Might take a little while to just filter through, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Alternatively, this might be a completely wasted endeavor and might serve no purpose whatsoever. No purpose whatsoever. Okay. That wasn't really where I want to place that video game, but I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. That's where I wanted to place it. Cool. Alright. Let's get that done. Let's get that done. That's wonderful. So we got progress to make over there. This worker hub apparently just hasn't been built. Don't understand why. I will never understand why. I still don't understand why we're having problems supplying Tent City. I am 90% sure that we've got all of the resources that we need. Look at this. Water extractor numero 3 has got more than enough. I feel like maybe I should just have more worker hubs. Am I just missing like an obscene amount of worker hubs? Is that what I'm missing? I kind of tried that with the original base, and it just didn't work. You know, these vast sort of sprawling networks of worker hubs didn't really work. This does seem to have addressed a little bit of the traffic issue, so that's looking good at least. We still need more resources, in a shock to absolutely no one, I'm sure. We've made some pretty significant progress, though. Base research points is hovering around 450. 450 a month. That's pretty good going, if I do say so myself. If we can fix this problem, then we'll be in a good place. We'll be in a good place. If we fix this water field, then we're gonna be in a great place as well, which is kind of nice. Okay, what we'll do is we'll reload the game. I will do another asteroids, because of course that's what I'm gonna continue to try and do, and then hopefully in not too distant future we should be able to import nitrogen from Titan. But of course, supplying Tent City is proving to redefine the meaning of the word frustrating. I just do not understand how these food factories are not able to get the water that they need. It's just so very strange. It's just so very strange. It really is. It really is bonkers. It really is bonkers. Traffic, though, traffic is fine. The load is good on these worker hubs, or at least it's not as high as it was. Which is just strange, I guess. Got no water over there. That's fine. We don't have water over here. That's good. I just want to check. We got 700 aluminium. Yeah. Very, very strange. Okay, upgrade ways. There we go. Let's get those ways upgraded. I know that I said I was gonna go for a little reload, but apparently I'm just a filthy hypocrite. Maybe if we do this, this will make a slightly bigger impact on the water delivery network. It's got to be water, right? It's got to be the fact that we're not delivering water quickly enough. Assuming that is the case, that is definitely going to help. We have 13 bits of water here, right? So all of that needs to be delivered to the Hyperloop, because there is no other way. There is no other way into this area. There was a connection over here, but I ditched it. I ditched it a good long time ago. So with the sped up ways, I'm assuming that we're gonna be better off. Also, is it worth us sticking down a tier 3 upgrade? Maybe. Excuse me. Thanks. There we go. Let's get a tier 3 upgrade over there, and let's see if we can try and pour a bunch of resources into upgrading that as swiftly as we possibly can. We'll ditch that. Cool. Not going to ditch anything else. Let's upgrade that to tier 3. Let's upgrade that to tier 3. We've got the resources to do it. We might as well absolutely do it. I presume that we've got the glass for it. That's perhaps the only thing that we really need. No, we probably have the glass as well. Yeah. Okay. good. Okay, Tent City's looking good. Tent City's looking fine. It's a bit of a sporadic amount of research that we're doing, but I mean, each and every time that we do it, it steps up. It's 900 research. You know? We only need to do that 20 more times, and then we've researched importing nitrogen from Titan. I mean, dare I suggest, is it actually worth us considering getting the last level of biotech, the open city? It's 50-50 for 2,000. That's an even better ratio. So it's even better than we've currently got. Maybe that was what I was... Maybe that's what I've been missing this whole darn time. Is just the top level of research. Kind of seems a little bit funky that's the way that it sort of works. But, I mean, what do I know? What do I know? Okay, I'm gonna go for a reload, folks. We'll be back in just a second. Alright, okay. Post-pause. Post-reload. We're good. Alright, let's do our traditional zoom out. Aero brake nitrogen asteroid. Yep, still works. Still works. Which, again, just confirms in my mind that there is something fishy going on. There is something fishy going on. And I don't understand what it is. No siree. I don't understand what it is. It is beyond my comprehension. Okay, how's Tent City looking like? Tent City is looking like a dream. Apart from the fact that there's no food in Tent City. Just incredible, eh? Just incredible. Probably because we're upgrading all of the water stations at the moment. We're upgrading all of the water stations at the moment. Where does this fall? This falls in here. We've got a drone here. Yeah, we're just working on we're just working on the upgrades. That's the real deal at the moment, as opposed to anything else. The amount of water that we need to supply this city, though, kind of bonkers. Kind of bonkers. Is there another way to get water that I'm just completely missing? I don't think so, right? Like, can we stick a water extractor? Can we stick a water extractor just in the water? Requires water underwater? I mean, that's an oxymoron if I ever saw it. Look at that. Underwater requires water. Now, I understand the concept of water. I just wanted to see if perhaps instead of, you know, using a water extractor, we could just use a bucket. It sounds ridiculous to say, but in this advanced civilization, buckets don't exist. The year is, you know, 2300, and we have yet to discover a simple bucket. However, that being said, we should be fine. I think the answer might be more food factories, to be honest. I unironically think the answer might be more food factories. As crazy that is to suggest. I was suggesting earlier that it was fewer food factories. I still don't know. I still don't know what the answer is. Actually, you know what? I do think I know what the answer is. I think that the number of food factories that we have at the moment is completely adequate. I'll say that. Okay, you know what? Let's plonk down. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. We'll start our first brand new base over here. Let's get this all connected up. Okay. This is part of the problem. I immediately drop. This is the bug that I was talking about, right? Is that they just don't want to work until I prioritize it. Okay, so there's something super, super weird about prioritization that I just do not understand, and I think is probably broken. Okay. There we go. So this may not work. This may not work without a full connection. We may need to stick down a worker hub over here. Prioritize the worker hub again, otherwise it just won't work. It's gotta be something to do. Something to do with something. I don't understand. Either way, that's what we need. Cool. No maintenance, obviously. Prioritize the iron mine, because if we don't prioritize the iron mine, nothing will get done. Yep. And come on, robot. You can do it. What about building the carbon mine? Okay, you want to build the carbon mine, but you don't want to build the iron mine. Very strange. Very, very strange. And now we just have to, wait. Now we just have to wait until the robot decides to do something. Deprioritize, reprioritize the iron mine? I don't know. I really have no idea. I really have no idea what the video game could want. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. Maintenance overlay. We don't have any maintenance traffic wise. It's all within the same region. It's all fine. It looks okay. Reprioritize it maybe. I don't know. It's high priority. Maybe if I deprioritize this stuff, maybe it'll work. No, still doesn't look like anything's happening. See, this is the problem, is that I spend so much time faffing around. I spend so much time faffing around trying to get this setup working. And if it doesn't work, then you're screwed, basically. You're in trouble. So I mean, I guess if the robot just decides not to work, then oh, see, now it does decide to work. It's super weird. It's super weird. I really don't understand it. I really do not understand it. Did we? Oh, we did the asteroid thing. We did the asteroid thing. 52%. 52% is measly. Yeah, that's miserable. That's really miserable, actually. That's not good. 52% is a bad number. It's a very bad number. How's the areological scanner going? That's... Oh, yikes. Okay, so our water area is completely exploited. We found all of the water sources in our water area. I don't love that for a variety of reasons. I really do not love that at all. The reason being, I kind of wanted more water than that in the water area. I know perhaps that's a little bit to ask for. Are we out of power? Yeah, we're out of power. Okay, we need to get a wind farm over here. I know how you feel about wind farms. I feel the same way. Uh-oh. Actually, hold up. Don't do that. Scrap that, and then instead build the wind farm out here, because otherwise it might not reach the iron. Might not reach the iron mine. Okay. Should have plenty of electronics to do that. Excellent, we do. And that should give us all of the power that we need. We can probably link the two power networks of this base. We can probably link, you know, multiple things, multiple facets of one base to the next base. But you know, I'm gonna play the way that the game wants me to play, because I've been shown that it is the only way to play. If you do not play this way, then you're in trouble. You're in big trouble, Buster. Right. How about you start building the electronics factory? There we go, of course. You only start working if I prioritize the electronics factory. Excellent. And how about you start working on the silicon mine? There we go. Again, only start working under very specific circumstances. And now the chemical plants. Good stuff. And now the steel factory. Excellent. There we go. Just like that. It's simples. It's simples. It's just that easy. Okay. So, we presumably need power. Yeah, we presumably need a little bit of power. There may occasionally be a little bit of downtime in the power. We're at 8%. We're at 8% structural integrity on the aluminium mine. That's terrible. Polymer factory. Bring the polymer factory online as well. This is, again, this is the race that we're playing, right? The race that we're playing is to try and get the polymer factory up and running before all of the buildings start to fail from a lack of maintenance. So we'll get the maintenance facility down as well. We should have all of the chemicals and all of the stuff that we need in order to make polymers. That's just a simple matter of time, really. Yep. Get the maintenance facility up and running. Then prioritize. Go back to prioritizing the polymer factory. Yep. Nope. Okay. You're doing something else at the moment that I don't want you to do. Maybe if I deprioritize all of this, then that'll work. No idea. No idea. No idea. We've got literally 6 chemicals that are sitting right here, ready to go. I really question the video game sometimes, you know? I really, really do. I really have no idea what more I can possibly do. What do you want from me, video game? What do you want from me? Let's throw down another spaceport. Throw down another spaceport over here. That's fine. We are starting to run out of water. We're starting to run out of water in this little base up here. Just makes it a little bit more annoying to access, really. But that's fine. That's fine. We're trying to build more water out here anyway. So we'll do just that. We're gonna go in on solar. Mars post rover. Research outpost. And some maintenance. Honestly, in small bases, though, maintenance is not a problem. Maintenance is not a problem. Unless it, of course, is like a tiny base, in which case it absolutely categorically is a problem. As soon as we produce 1 polymer, then we can turn off all of these peripheral factories so that we can provide enough power for the maintenance facility, because for some reason the maintenance facility doesn't get power as a priority. Maintenance facility, maintenance facility, maintenance facility. Do we not have electronics? Do we seriously not have 1 electronics? Fine. Need to turn that back on. No, 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 don't, no, 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 no. Didn't mean to upgrade it. Didn't mean to upgrade it. That was stupid. That was stupid. Okay, I'm gonna have to deconstruct this. Deconstruct this, reconstruct the electronics factory right over here. You can see just how unbelievably challenging it actually is to start a brand new base, especially when the game doesn't conform to how it should work. Okay. Yeah, that was my bad, though. I shouldn't have clicked the upgrade button. But there's no way to de-upgrade it once you upgrade it, so we're just going to throw resources away for... Well, I say we throw resources away. We weren't going to complete the upgrade because we don't have the upgrade. We don't have the resources to complete the upgrade. We are also straight up just out of power. Shut down the polymer factory. Electronics factory has got a new lease of life. Excellent. Iron mine. No, 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 no. Don't want the iron mine. We've got aluminium in here. We've got aluminium in here. We can make an electronics factory. If only we do it. Shut it down. Shut down everything that is not concerned directly in maintenance. This is basically how I've been playing the game for the last, like, 2 hours. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, because pretty sure this is not how it's meant to be played, where you just, like, turn off the power on one building and then have to try and maximize the power. They just don't do it. They just don't do it. Build. 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 Oh, lordy. I mean, even this is fine. This is fine. Just build the... Build the electronics. Build the electronics. Okay. There's aluminium right here. Please. Please. Oh, video game, you're... Don't get it. Okay, turn off the steel factory. Aluminium deposit. We'll get going back up online because we need to deconstruct it. Because of course we do, because we didn't manage to get the maintenance facility up and running in time. So this is basically what would happen. Prioritize the aluminium mine. There we go. So you use aluminium to build the aluminium mine, but you won't use it to build electronics. Excellent. Don't get it. So yeah, this is what would basically happen time and time and time and time and time again. And it's super weird. Now you want to use aluminium. I wonder if there is like a 10 aluminium minimum in the landing site. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Either way, the maintenance facility is now up and running. But that's only half the battle. Because now the next part of the challenge is to get a parts factory down. Right? Is to get a parts factory down. And then a glass kiln. Then a glass kiln. And then a worker factory. All in quick enough time. All in quick enough time that this robot doesn't die. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I don't know. We're also gonna definitely need another power source for this. Here we go. And that is going to be prioritized because that is actually quite important that we have a power supply, because we're going to need more resources than what we've got at the moment in order to build all of this stuff. So that's pretty good. Return that to power. Return that to power. Turn that to power. We should be fine with these two wind farms now. Turn that on. Ooh. Carbon mine, turn that on, and the silicon mine, turn that on, and I think that's everything, right? I think that's everything. Okay, we are still occasionally having some slight rolling power cuts, but it's probably going to be fine once the wind turbines pick up a little bit, and pick up they hopefully shall. We've got the steel, we've got the aluminium to start doing some glass kiln stuff, so let's do that. I'm kind of glad that I decided to do this, honestly, just as like a demonstration of how challenging it actually is to get this to work. Right. Spaceports. Don't suppose you're going to allow me to aerobrake another asteroid at the moment? Nope. I think I'm going to try and build an additional landing site. Crazily enough, we can actually build an additional landing site at either of the two spaceports that I've got over here. You know, so either spaceport number 1 or spaceport number 2. It's just that we can't do the crashing the asteroid thing. Weird. Weird. Food factory still looking problematic. We still just need more water. I really cannot believe how much water we actually need. It's all of these water sources. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 extractor level 3s, 2 extractor level 1s, and still that's not enough. We could actually upgrade the ways over here, and we could probably upgrade the ways over there as well. If we do that, that might make a slight improvement. But at the end of the day, the problem really is that we're just not getting enough food. We're just not getting enough food. 4,000 population on Mars. Wow. So many people. Right, how's this looking? This is looking pretty good. All we need is steel and some parts. We got the parts, but in order to build parts, we need steel, and we can't build that without additional wind from the wind turbines. Wind turbines, of course. Let's say it all together now. Are hot garbage. Okay. Prioritize the building of the brand new wind farm, and then we'll bring our other non-useful stuff. Cool. Excellent. Good stuff on that front. Excellent. Okay, Tent City is now looking good. Okay. I do think making that Hyperloop station over there did actually make an impact. It's weird, because I feel like it doesn't look like it is making an impact, but I feel like it is making an impact, you know? It doesn't look like it is, but I think it is. And if it's not, you know what? I'll gosh darn choose to believe it. I'll choose to believe that it is. Either way, this is looking really nice. It looks like we've managed to eke out just a little bit of extra bit of production. Throw down an additional worker hub over here, eh? Throw down an additional worker hub. Maybe that will speed up. Actually, you know what? Don't, because we just upgraded the ways over here. I honestly, sincerely think that with upgraded ways, we might be okay. We might be able to get enough water out of the extractor before it's capped on production. All right, look at that. 1,000 research points. We're actually about to do it. We're actually about to finish the research that allows us to import nitrogen from Titan. And that's pretty huge for a multitude of reasons. As far as I'm aware, this tech is going to completely change our lives. I hope it is. This is the one. This is the one, right? This is the one. We're one bit of research away. It's very exciting. Did I ever get, by the way, did I get that additional... Yeah, I'm getting that additional landing site right now. Maybe, you never know, we might be able to revitalize this old base. Although at this point, I'm not really sure that I want to. I'm not really sure that I want to at all. I'd really like to finish this area off and get this area fixed, but, I mean, I don't think it's necessary. Kind of begs the question, right? If it's possible to just beat the game with this size base, what is the point? What's the point of having a whole planet? What's the point of having a whole planet to explore, right? I know you're supposed to have these, like, little micro bases, but I don't know. Just not convinced. Okay, import nitrogen from Cytogen's moons. Excellent. Okay, that's excellent. That's really, really good. Let's go back to space. Let's get the dipole shield. We need to get the dipole shield. Let's go and zoom out. Let's go and see what we can do. So, I think it should be one of these. Ice import, nitrogen import. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's actually not that expensive either. Okay, I want to see exactly how much it's going to give us. So we're doing it at this one. This spaceport, 40 chemicals, 40 electronics, 40 parts, 40 aluminium. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's going to make a big old difference if we can get it done. I'm very, very curious. Now we just need the dipole shield. The dipole shield is the last bit of tech that we need, I think. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Ooh. Okay, weird imbalance has happened where we now have no chemicals and all the water that we could possibly want in the entire universe. Let's get that upgraded. Prioritize the upgrade of that. Are these big veins? They are big, big veins. Chemical plant, level 3. Let's go. Pretty sure this is a chemical area, isn't it? I think this might be a chemical... This is a chemical area. Yeah, I knew there was a chemical area nearby. Either way, I'm fairly certain that we will be just fine to supply chemicals over here. Ditch that. And go for an upgrade over there as well. Okay, so a temporary shortage of food. Undoubtedly going to happen, but necessary. Have we run out of resources? I feel like we've not run out of resources, but... Oh, no. Look at the landing site. Look, we got a maximum number in this landing site, and we've exceeded the maximum number. Look at how much aluminium we have. That's game breaking. That is game breaking. Is there perhaps no way for me to access these resources now, given that I have exceeded the cap so spectacularly? What the heck? What the heck? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. So just like that, we're able to import nitrogen. We are in a great place. Really, really good place by the looks of it. Maybe I'll be able to import nitrogen multiple times. Let's see if we can actually do that. Let's build a spaceport. Build a spaceport out over here. I shouldn't build it out all the way over there. I need to build it within maintenance range. You know, don't be daft. Don't be daft, potato. Don't be daft. Tent City. I'm telling you, Tent City was the game changer, wasn't it? Tent City was the game changer. Actually, no, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was reducing our oxygen to like 50% of what it once was. Pretty sure that's the game changer. Water extractor level 3 is Dunzo. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. It's terrifying. Okay, I did say a while ago that I wasn't going to build another worker port in here, but I am actually going to do it now. There we go. Prioritize the construction of that. This is being deconstructed as well. That's going to take a little while. Launch ship and initiate journey. It's going so darn fast that I can't really pay attention. Okay, where is the nitrogen import? Aha, look at this, look at this, look at this. We can totally do that. Okay, so add it to 17. Add it to 16 as well. That's pretty brilliant. Okay, so we're gathering resources for these two. I don't know how much nitrogen this is going to give us, but I'd like to probably suspect that it is less than I would like it to be. And so therefore, if I pre-prepare these two missions, what's the worst that can happen? We end up introducing too much nitrogen, and then we have to use a little bit of water to add a little bit more oxygen back into the atmosphere. We're quite close. What the heck is happening here? 107 out of 180. I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea what's happening. I have a sneaking suspicion that chemicals are in a very, very short supply. Indeed, they look to be. Looks like chemicals are going on the the nitrogen missions. Yeah, I think that's where all of our chemicals are going. In fact, I suspect that that's where the vast majority of our resources are currently going at the moment. Oh, this is a disaster up here. Well, it's not a disaster. It's just a little barren, you know? Okay. Maybe throw down a couple of chemical plants. Throw down a couple of chemical plants. There we go. I'm loath to interfere altogether too much, you know? Just in case I do something which ruins this perfect scenario. You know? Okay. Return ship to spaceport. Is there actually something happening up here? Is there something happening in the orbital view that I'm just missing? I don't think there is. Return ship to spaceport. No, I don't think it's happening. Gather resources infinity. Return ship to spaceport. So we're on 52%. We're on 52%. And once that's been returned, presumably we will get our goods. 97%. Also, before that happens, that's at 100% there. How's this little base doing? It's not doing too badly. Not operative. I'm gonna hope that that's a power-related issue. 52%. Unload material from ship. Oh, okay. That's still gonna take a gosh darned long time. How much nitrogen are you giving me, video game? Oh, I see you venting the nitrogen. Oh no. It was 1%. It was you gave me 1%? You gave me 1%? No, surely not. Surely not. I must have. What? 1%? Really? You mean I got all of this super advanced tech? I'm throwing hundreds and hundreds of resources to do this for nothing? This is low quality nitrogen that I'm importing here. This is obscene. This is obscene. I don't know if that is truly reflective of reality. That's dreadful if that's the case. That's really, really bad. Because I am throwing a huge number of resources down that drain. So you're telling me, but with 3 loads, with three full spaceport loads, I'm gonna be able to adjust the atmosphere by 3%. So that would require, just to bring it down below 20, that would require 20 loads of nitrogen delivered from Titan. 20 times 40 is 2,000. No, 800. It's not 2,000. It's 800. It's 800 aluminium. It's 800 parts. It's 800 electronics. And it's 800 chemicals. I guess, you know, when you put it like that, it's not actually completely unreasonable. It's a lot. It's a lot, but maybe not actually that bad. Maybe I'm just getting myself in a tizzy over nothing here. I mean, it is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. But I mean, if we have like a couple of spaceports, right? If we have a couple of spaceports. So that's what? That's a couple of additional spaceports up and running. I don't know how much power spaceports actually require. 15 megawatts. Basically nothing. So a couple of additional a couple of additional spaceports queued up. That'll probably make all of the difference that we really need to make. How's this area looking? There we go. That's looking good. That's looking good. That's looking real good. Okay. Build that. Build a food factory. Little food factory. Little water extractor over here. No maintenance, but that's because the maintenance thing doesn't have power. Yeah, wind farm. Sure. And prioritize the wind farm over everything else, but then everything should get built slowly but surely, and it'll be grand. Need a worker hub, which means that we've reached round about the right size of building. So we just need electronics. We just need electronics. We just need parts. We need that. Yeah. Okay. We're down to 49%. We're down to 49% atmospheric oxygen here. And I would presume that this has started again, and this has started again. Wow, okay, I mean, this is a lot of resources that we're just chucking into the ether in order to try and lower oxygen. Return ship to spaceport. There it is, it's landed. And it's venting the old nitrogen. And that's it. And that's it. And now we're down to 48%. So we need to do that 20 times. Again, not crazy. Not crazy about the fact that it's that extreme. But I suppose, given that it doesn't take that long, I guess we can probably endure. Okay, I'm actually reasonably confident about this now. I don't know what it was, but I think maybe just, you know, confining my high expectations of playing the game in the way that I wanted to play it, and now realizing that I kind of have to play it in this very, very specific, very, very prescript way. Otherwise, you just lose. It's just that simple. You just lose if you don't play in the way that I described earlier. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm a little bit less happy. A little bit less happy. You know what? Don't bother with these spaceports. Don't bother with these spaceports. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just focus on building the electronics, and we'll be good. One issue is that we don't actually have that much electronic capacity, and that's a silicon mine over there. So let's plonk down a level 3 silicon mine. Holy cow, that's huge. And then we will get a ditch that iron mine, and we'll see if we can stick an electronics factory level 2 in the middle here as well. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah, as long as we don't play the game in a crazy manner, I think that we'll get across the line here. I really, really do. I mean that sincerely. I think that we are ever so close to getting there. We're already at 48% oxygen. If I crash that asteroid a couple of additional times, you never know, we might be there just a smidgen faster. Anyway, folks, next episode, we're definitely going to get the dipole shield. We are already 50% of the way towards that, and we're getting an obscene amount of research from this one tent city. This one tent city, apparently, is great. It's real good. Yeah, one more episode of Aspera, and then I think we'll be donezo. We'll be donezo. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Thank you ever so much for the support over on the Patreon page as well. It's been truly humbling, and it does really help make videos like this possible. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Aspera. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.